The coach mentoring program, it was quite an interesting entry. I was working with under 19, and at the same time the committee member knew I wasn't quite happy with what I was doing as a progression from a coaching journey. By chance, my chairman, he was actually on one of the presentation evenings to do, so he was attending that and he was listening about what happens, some of the benefits, and that came from obviously Cheshire FA. Those two had a conversation and then said, right, we've got someone who actually wants to progress and is interested in developing not only the club, because I've been talking at a club level as well, but also individually about how my mentoring journey or how my coaching journey would progress. The big thing about a club level is that we've actually operated quite individually as teams. If you ask any coach in the club, you set up and you run your little journey and you're in quite isolation, even within an age group. So one of the big things we were trying to do was actually trying to connect the coaches. So the first part was, can we get those connections, and then can we start sharing ideas and confirming what's going on, and actually just getting a culture, and also find out what's going on, because there's a lot of issues potentially and going on which we weren't capturing, and there's also some massive benefits of seeing other coaches in action. So there's some really good best practices which new coaches weren't seeing. So the under 18s weren't showing what they were doing to 16s, 16 to 13s, etc. So there was no progression through the club, or even forget playing style, just what can you get from each other. So the connecting the coaches was a massive thing, but from that we did other things as well. There were two parts to that, and I hit it on a really lucky streak, because besides being the person to engage with Scott as a mentee, and then I would become the lead mentor in the club, I also enrolled on the level 2 course. So that step up to make you from a level 1 coach and polish the edges off a level 1 coach, and also lead you into what we now call level 1.5, and start talking about different aspects of practice design, and some of the DNA side of things, which you only get on the new level 1. Those are massive. So setting me up on a nice journey for the level 2 was absolutely instrumental. It also it calmed me down. So I was quite keen to get this right. Really, we've got these kids here, we've got 10 kids, to get them playing the best football they can, and for as long as they can, and fall in love with the game, all those good things. Trying to get that finalised, and trying to get that without putting too much pressure on yourself, and all those little secrets and tricks, that's what Scott brought. And so he took me from quite a rough diamond, rough edge coach, level 1, and alongside the level 2 journey, being mentored, being the mentee, I got absolutely massive. So there's two parts. As an individual, if you're actually one of the lead people in the club, so you're one of the coach club mentors, you're going to get this massive input of expertise and knowledge and techniques. As a club, you can start deciding, well, what do you actually want out of it? And that's one of the key things I always say. If you look at what's happening at Harford, you look at what's happening here, the connection now, when we never used to have coaches' evenings. So we've done like 3 coaches' evenings now, where we've talked about technical aspects of the game. We've shared ideas, and we've actually just learned from each other, and that's a huge thing. It's an evolving thing. It's not a revolution. We're just trying to move it along, because everyone's volunteers, try to get the best out of each of the expertise of the coaches, and raise that bar, raise the level of coaching to get the best for the kids.